as adults, we've kind of lost our ability to play so much. We've sort of become a little bit more kind of stern or serious, or we've forgotten that part of ourselves. It's still within us somewhere, but it might be buried within us. And so I love that with yoga, there's a possibility of trying to rediscover this kind of playfulness, this childlike nature, because it's really wonderful when we can play and we can laugh. These things can help us. They can help us to stay present. They can help us to delight in the moment. So without expectations of what's going to happen, of there being an outcome, it helps us to explore life with curiosity instead of self-consciously. And it's good to have fun, to be more free, be spontaneous, and it's a good way of getting to know ourselves better. So we're going to play with this concept of Lila. If you think about it, like Buddhist monks or nuns, they tend to have a really excellent sense of humor, and so it's that I feel like that's because they're really connected to spirituality. And I think once we get more connected to spirituality, we kind of let go of some of those barriers of just doing things because we need to get things done, right? And we're doing things more because we just want to enjoy the moment. So it's something to play with. And also, laughter is shown to really lower your blood pressure, reduce stress levels, hormones, stress hormones, boost immunity, and minimize pain, right? So we're going to play with that. Maybe you can set yourself an intention today to sort of lighten up in this class, or maybe for the day, and just taking things less seriously. So if poses don't work, if or they don't go quite how you expect, just playing with that and seeing what happens, right? It doesn't matter, just maybe trying a different way of balancing or a different way of coming at the pose. It's more with curiosity rather than the seriousness of having to look a certain way. All right, so we're actually going to start lying on the back. So you can just bring yourself down to the ground, and hopefully the connection is going to keep working, because it is saying that it's being a little bit unstable. So let's keep working and trying with it. So you can have your knees bent a little bit and feet on the ground if that feels more comfortable, and knees just falling in. And you can press your shoulders down to the ground, palms face up, and maybe closing your eyes here. And just really connecting with where you are. So finding yourself in the moment, letting go of expectations of how this class might go. Just sort of being prepared to just experience each moment as it unfolds. And then just take some slow, deep breaths through the nose. Filling the belly, filling the chest, filling the side body. You might even feel as you inhale that the back expands also, and it presses into the ground. So kind of explore your breath, be curious. Is there a way that you can breathe differently, where you can feel the back pressing into the ground as you inhale? And then I'm going to invite you to do something a bit spontaneous. It's a little weird too, so just see if you want to go for it, but I highly recommend it. If you place your hands on your belly and you can just spontaneously laugh. So it's going to seem a little fake, because it is fake, you're creating it, but it's still really beneficial for your entire body. So hopefully your neighbors or whoever's in your house doesn't think you're too crazy. It's okay. Anyway, you can maybe inspire them to laugh. So It's a natural form of pranayama. So just so again, it might seem really weird. Just let go of that self-consciousness. And maybe one more. That's a weird one. All right. Just pausing here where you are. Just noticing how that weird experience felt. Excellent. And then you can gently open your eyes. You're going to bring your feet up to the sky here. So you're pressing the lower back into the ground. They're a little bit separated, your legs. And then you're going to point your feet up at the sky. And then you're going to flex. So just finding and noticing just how those small movements change the pose. And maybe also you might circle your ankles. You might even lift your hands and circle your wrists in both directions. It's kind of hard to try and coordinate. That's okay. Finding a little smile if it's a bit awkward. And then you might also release your arms and you might just play with your legs in terms of just coming into the splits or maybe straddle and then circling the legs around a bit. Keep pressing your lower back into the ground though. And then bringing the knees into the chest, give yourself a hug and just roll from side to side. So we're going to take the right leg and cross it over the left. So we're going to come into eagle legs. You can tuck the left toes if they go around the right leg or just however you can twist them around. And then we're going to do the same with the arms. So it's left arm on top, finding eagle arms. And then you're going to lengthen. So the fingertips come up to the sky, the toes push away. And then pressing the lower back in, bringing knees and elbows together. So inhale, lengthen away. And exhale, round through the back. One more time, reaching away. And exhale. Rounding, and then we're going to switch. So this time left over right of the legs, and then right over left for the arms. So again, press that lower back in and then lengthen. Exhale, bringing them together. Round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round, reaching together. One last time. Just notice and be curious. Feel this in your body. It's not so easy. And bringing it in from side to side. And you can bring the legs and arms up and just shake everything out so it's a little bit weird. Just letting it go. Knees coming into chest. We're just going to roll forward and back. Now we're going to come into a standing here. So we're just going to bring the feet together. And then we'll come and do some hip circles. So you can step apart a little bit if you like. So before we move on, we'll just get some movement here. So inhaling, maybe coming forward, if it hips forward. Exhaling, coming back. Taking some breaths as you work and going the other direction. Excellent. Coming into center. We're just going to move the arms and kind of just allow them just to be free as we turn from side to side. Excellent. Just allow everything just to move with gravity after you've done the initial turn. Well, it's not really gravity, is it? It's Newton's law of something. We're just moving and coming back to center. Okay, so we're going to interlace the thumbs here and pull the pinkies apart. I don't know if you're going to be able to see because I don't think you can see my hands, but basically I'm going to bring them up over my head, pulling the pinkies apart. Now I'm going to step the right toes behind, so the right foot is going to come over to the left, toes coming down to the ground, and I'm just going to extend over to the left side. Notice how that feels. I'm getting length through my right side body. Inhale, coming on up, bringing the feet back, and then this time left foot crosses behind right, and I'm going to just lean over to the right side. Excellent. Inhale back to center. Hands are going to come to the heart. We're going to come with the feet to the front of the mat. Inhaling. Arms are going to come all the way up. We're going to come into a chair pose here. So the feet are together if it feels good. Toes lift. Heels, the weight is coming into the heels, sitting on down. Bringing weight back into those heels. Excellent. Now we're going to bring the hands to the heart and we're going to do a twist. Opening to the right side or whichever way you're going is all good. Find that twist. Inhaling, coming back to center. Twisting the other way. Coming back here. Great. One more twist. Inhale through center. Going the other direction. Great. Coming back. Exhale. Folding down over the legs. So we're just getting started here. So I highly recommend bending the knees a lot. Just allowing the neck to not do any work. Let the head be heavy. You could grab onto the elbows if you like and move from side to side. Or you can explore just bringing your fingertips over to the right side and maybe then walking them over to the left. So just playing, you might bring them forward as well. Excellent, then the head remains heavy. Now we're going to take the two fingers, the first two fingers on the right side, grabbing onto the right big toe and lift off the ground an inch or two with that right foot. You can always grab onto a block to help you. And then we're going to bring that right leg out to the right side. So it's playing here. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It's just seeing where we get to. Noticing how it feels where we're going and placing it back down. We're going to switch sides. Maybe grabbing onto that left toe, lifting the foot off the ground and playing, bringing it out to the side. Breathing here. Maybe it's a bit wobbly, just being curious. Bringing the foot back. Great. Now we're going to bend the knees even more, placing the hands all the way under the feet. So toes all the way up to the wrists. And then you can lengthen through the back and the arms a bit, trying to find a flat back. Wonderful. Releasing the hands here. We're going to inhale, halfway lift, get flat back. Lengthening through the back. Exhale, folding down over the legs. We're going to take the right foot back behind you. Knee is going to come down to the ground. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Beautiful. Now we're going to open through the heart. So you can either grab onto the elbows or you can do a hands in prayer pose behind you, opening through the chest. Now you can do any amount of play here. You can play with a little movement, just rocking forward and back. You can play with your gaze. So maybe you might move your gaze over to the right hand, the upper right hand side. So even though your head is still going forward, you might just move your gaze over and then move it over to the left upper corner and then back to the right upper corner. Anything that works good. You might even turn your head to the right and turn your head to the left. Excellent. Releasing through the hands. Hands are going to come down to the ground. Now we're going to lengthen through that front leg, saying hi to the hamstring this morning, finding length. And you can always, of course, use those blocks or books or whatever you have, finding length through the back. And then exhale, folding over through that front leg. And again, you can play here any amount. So you can see, well, what happens if I bring my fingertips sort of forward a little bit, maybe over to the side. Maybe you can play with doing a twist here, where you grab onto anywhere on that left leg or the foot, and then twist. So one of the childlike qualities that are amazing is that kids don't give up. When they fall out, they keep trying. Or if it doesn't work for them, they're curious about how else could work. Bringing the hands back down, bending through that front knee again. Excellent. We're going to tuck the back toes, bring that right foot back, coming into plank. Spreading the fingers, pressing the heels back. Now we might lift up through that right leg and just see what happens there, how that feels. Maybe we even bring it over to the right elbow. Maybe we press it back and bring it over to the left side. And maybe we straighten that leg out and bring the left arm up, fallen star. Left hand comes down. Right foot back, again lifting. Exhale, knee to foot forward between the hands. Now we might bring that back knee down, reaching the arms back up. Maybe we're going to tuck the back knee and lift up here. Exhaling, bringing the hands down to heart center. And then we're going to twist left elbow over to that knee, stacking the elbows. So you can play any way, lengthening through your wings, finding a bind if that's within your practice. Whatever seems good, just notice and play. See what works for you. And then we're going to come back into center. Arms are going to come up. Left leg maybe coming forward and lifting. And then maybe stepping up to the front as we bend both legs, bringing it down, coming into chair pose. Taking a breath. Maybe opening to the right side. Coming through center, opening to the other side. Coming through center. One more time, opening here. And the other way. Come back to center, folding forward, finding length through the back. This time coming onto the heels, lifting through the heels. Maybe arms come out to the side like we're flying. Notice how that feels. And then heels come down, folding down over the legs. So you might grab behind the thighs or the shins. Find that forward fold. Hands come down, left foot back, knee drops, reaching the arms all the way up. Maybe a little back bend, notice how that feels. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Excellent. Now checking in with what you'd like to do with your arms. Maybe opening the chest again with hands on the elbows, maybe reverse prayer. And you can find any movement here that you might like. And onto the ground here, and we're going to lengthen through that front leg. Finding length through the right, length through the back, exhaling forward fold. Maybe walking the fingers forward, maybe finding interlacing the hands behind the back and bringing them up overhead. Just playing and see what works for you. Maybe we'll do the twist on the other side, grabbing somewhere along that leg, finding your twist. Beautiful. Coming back to center, being okay with wobbles, all good. Hands are going to come down to the ground, tucking the toes. Right foot comes back to meet the left. Heels press away from you. Notice how this pose feels. You might even turn onto the sides of the feet and come back through center and go the other way. There are no rules in play. You just get to play. Left leg, of course, keeping safe might be the only rule. Left leg comes up, keeping your body safe. Exhale, bring it to left elbow. Inhale, reach back, lengthen. Exhale, over to the right side. Maybe lengthening that leg, opening up, opening the chest up. Hand comes back down, leg comes back, lifting up. Exhale, knee to nose, rounding the back, stepping forward. Knee comes down, inhale, reaching the arms up. Now you might play with tucking the back toes and lifting through that back knee, hands to heart center. And we're going to twist over to the left side, right elbow over that left knee, stacking the shoulders and the elbows, pressing hands together to help with twist. Inhale, coming back to center. We're going to launch that back leg, lifting up here, finding warrior three. So just keep trying if you feel a bit imbalanced. Bending through that knee, bending through that both knees. Finding your chair pose, bringing weight back into the heels. And then standing up, hands to the heart, closing the eyes. Slow inhale through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. Ha. Inhale nose. Exhale mouth. Ha. One more time. Ha. And you can feel a little bit, you can keep your eyes closed, just sway from side to side a little bit, just noticing the ground, noticing how the swaying feels. Brilliant. And then opening the eyes, we're going to spread the feet a little bit and we're going to come down into a squat here, pressing the arms into the legs, finding length through the back here. And you can come into any play here too. So you can take your right arm around the right leg and try and interlace the fingers behind you, finding a twist, or the arms can come down, the right hand can come down to the ground, left arm to the sky. So you've got options. You can play with going the other direction or binding here. Yeah. You can play with coming into center, bringing the heels together, knees out, hands coming to heart center, or whatever feels good, right? You can have hands overhead. You could put your palms face up, thumbs and index fingers touching, just playing and seeing what works. And the other thing you might do, just again for play, you might use a block here, but you might play with trying to reach that right leg out in front of you. So you might grab onto the toe, bring the leg out, play with where that might be, I don't know. You can do that on both sides if it works. And if we fall down, it's all good too. It's just play. We learn from giving things a go. So wherever we're at. And then one of the other things we're going to do to play here is we're going to bring the hands down and try and bring them on the outside of the feet. So we're going to just see if we can lean down on our arms and maybe lift up through the legs. So balance. So you can either do that, or if you prefer, giving you lots of options here, you can come in to crow pose. So you've got loads of good things to play with, whatever works for your play. Taking a few moments in whatever feels good. If you are in crow, one of the things that you can play with may be, once you're up, is shooting those legs back. So again, it's just play, and whenever you're done, finding your child's pose. So the wonderful thing about play is not only playing and having fun and being spontaneous, but making sure then that we rest afterwards so that we can integrate what we've learned and experienced, and we can rest and relax up. So relaxing down here, breathing. Even while we're here, we can place the hands together, bringing the thumbs behind the neck. And we can also bring the knees up, the hips above the knees, hands down to the ground, turning them in towards the knee, and we're going to come into some lion's breath. So we're going to inhale deeply through the nose, exhale, stick the tongue out, exhale through the mouth, and then you're going to have your focus at the third eye center between the eyebrows as you do it. So we're going to inhale deeply here, exhale, inhale nose, exhale, inhale nose, exhale, beautiful. Turning the fingers back towards the front. We're going to come into a frog pose. So we're just going to walk the feet out, the knees out, and we're just going to bring the toes out to the side, the feet out to the side. So just noticing how far you can go. There's not a right or a wrong distance. You just want to make sure you're not hurting yourself. Trying to get as many right angles at your knee, at your ankle, and at your hip, and then you can just come down and take a few breaths here. So just be curious in this moment, even if it's uncomfortable, it's not fun, just notice where you feel discomfort, or notice where you feel tension, and see if you can soften in those areas. You can even play, even if you're not moving, you can play within your body to try and see where you have some control, where you can let go, where you can surrender. So breathe here. And then we're going to slowly come on up. knees coming together. And we'll inhale here. And we're going to take that right leg out behind, kicking out. Exhaling, knee towards nose. And bringing that right foot between the hands. So we're going to play a little bit with the splits. So you've got choices. You can come back into the half splits where we're just bringing that leg forward. You can sit back on the foot and play with it like that, the legs like that. Or you can bring yourself forward and try to work on the splits with as many blocks as you need, giving yourself support. So we're not trying to get to a point where we're going to create pain, right? We're just supporting ourselves to be wherever our body is ready to be. So just before our edge, or at our edge, no injuries, being gentle, and just breathe it. So you can play here if you like, as you're in your pose and just being gentle. You can play with moving forward or finding a little bit of movement or noticing what you want to do with your hands, maybe pressing them back and down, opening through the chest. Just being gentle at the same time, making sure that you don't push yourself too hard. Taking a few deep breaths. Very nice. And then you're going to slowly bring that leg back. Even if we're feeling a bit creaky, finding that laughter, that's whatever you need. And we're going to press back into a downward facing dog. So pressing back any way that you like. And you can again find movement. So you can move your butt from side to side. You can turn on the edges of your feet, going one way and then the other. You can even walk your hands out in one diagonal direction and then in the other. So it's just play. We don't have to do things in very strict, regimented ways and that only a pose can look like this. We can create whatever feels good. So we're going to go to the other side in a moment, but before we do, we're going to play with some bunny hops. So we're going to look forward a lot, and we're just going to try and kick your butt. So looking forward, you might find hang time, and you're just going to kick up. So just finding a few of those. Looking forward, I find is key. 2 more, if it feels good, just play. And then downward facing dog. Coming down onto your knees. So left leg coming back, inhaling, press the heel out. Exhale, knee to nose, rounding through the back. Foot coming between the hands. And then we're going to play again on this side with coming into splits. So we don't have to be the picture perfect splits. I've been doing this for years and I'm still way off, and it's okay. I'm getting closer. But the ultimate goal is not what we're going at. Expectations are, we're just playing in the moment and seeing what happens, and the different sides might feel different. So taking this pose to whichever level or whichever space you like, and then taking a few breaths, feeling that you can play in this pose if you would like. And then slowly bringing yourself back into center. Foot comes back. We're going to come back into a downward facing dog again. So tucking the toes, find that dog. Again, moving in any way that feels good. And then we're going to inhale, coming forward into plank. Taking a couple of breaths here. Coming onto the forearms here, forearm plank. Maybe walking the feet up to the elbows, finding your dolphin pose. And again, any movement that feels good, just play. Moving the feet back behind you, knees drop, hips drop, opening through the chest, taking a few breaths. Anything that feels good, just play, maybe lengthening through the elbows, if that feels good. Maybe finding a little bit of movement from side to side. You might bring your fingertips to the side as you do this, and just move from side to side. And then you can come down and you can listen to your body, think about what would be good. Maybe lifting right leg and left arm in opposite directions. But anything feels good. You can also lift both legs, both arms. Taking a few breaths. Playing, seeing what might be fun. You can bend that the right knee, grab on with the left. Do something a little strange. Doesn't matter. As long as you're being safe in your body. And release. Head comes down onto hands. Taking a few breaths. Finding that rest. So if you just did one side, going for the other, or being creative if you want to do something else. You can bend through the knee of that foot of that leg if you want, grabbing that arm grabbing with the hand. Whatever feels good. Taking a few more breaths wherever you are. And release. Forehead coming down to the ground. And then you're going to come back on the forearms, opening through the chest, tucking the toe, coming back onto the forearm plank. Hands coming down to the ground. And we're going to then come into a side plank. So you can also come into gate, which is a great variation. So you can go there, you can come into a side plank if it feels good. You can play with lifting or maybe coming into tree pose or lifting up through the leg. Whatever feels good. Lifting the hips, playing, and then making sure you go the other direction, whatever it might be. Just playing, see where you get to. Hand comes down, foot comes down, knees come down. Find yourself in a child's pose. Bringing yourself down. And taking a few breaths. Slowly finding your way coming up. We're going to come into a seat here. And we're going to just come into a Balancing frog. So lengthening through your back. Maybe lifting up one leg, maybe lifting up both, but trying to keep that length through the back is the most important. So the legs are wide, apart, and then you might play with half bear with one leg straight, half frog, other half bear, another half frog, or you might play with bear, full bear, legs straight, back straight. Maybe it's a bit wobbly, just breathing wherever you get to. This one's also a good one, although I'm not sure I have enough space, where you can, I don't know if you remember doing it when you were younger, where you just roll down to one side and you can roll in circles coming up, but we need, I think I might need a bit more space, but again, it's play. Those are just fun things to play with. So going in circles, if that works. And then feet come down, Baddha Konasana. Just feeling that butterfly pose. Feet opening like a book. Knees can move up and down if you like. You can bring your hands behind you to lengthen through the spine, finding any movement that you want through the back, the body. Or you can come down, trying to find some length through the back here at this stage. Maybe you move the feet forward a bit more here and see if you can move your head a little closer to your feet. Rounding your back here is now good, is now acceptable. So breathing. Inhale, coming on up, coming into boat pose here. So just lengthen back again. One leg up, two legs up, maybe lengthening through that right leg, maybe twisting here, finding openness. Coming back through center, going the other direction. Excellent. Anything that feels good. You can, so that's playful here. You can bring your arms out to the left, arms out to the right, as though you're kind of rowing. That doesn't quite look like this, but you know, whatever feels good or seems interesting in this moment. You can also play with lengthening down and coming back up, lengthening and coming back up. And I think this time we're going to just lengthen and we're going to come all the way down to the ground, feeling the wonderful ground beneath you. Closing the eyes, just finding a moment to pause, to relax, to integrate that play. Excellent. So you've got a choice here. You can come with just a waterfall pose with the lower back pressing into the ground, legs up to the sky, or you can come up into shoulders down, lifting the balls of the feet up to the sky, trying to scoop the elbows in towards each other. And then once you're here, there's so many ways to play. Legs can come out and straddle. You can come into a split or in either direction. Even you can come into eagle legs. So there's loads of ways. Maybe you can create your own pose. And then you can also bring the feet overhead if it feels good, plow pose, or either side of the ears with the knees. Whatever feels good. Just playing, just notice how things look different from different perspectives. And then when you're ready, you're going to roll all the way down. The palms of the hands coming underneath the butt cheeks, face down. Forearms down to the ground, lifting through the chest, head back towards the ground, fish pose. And anything you want to do here to play, this might be enough. You might play lifting one leg or the other, or both legs up to the sky. A little bit of work on the core. And release. Calming back down to the ground. Do a little bit of happy baby here. Right, finding play, joy, happiness, spontaneity. Find yourself, you can go from side to side here. Breathing. And then we're going to bring the legs up to the sky again. And this time we're going to reach the right leg down towards the ground, hovering. Fingers reaching towards the foot, extended foot alongside the ground. Inhale, coming up, relaxing through head and shoulders. And then we're going to just go up, shoulders lift, head lift. Let the other leg is just hovering off the ground. Fingers reach forward. And one more up, knees into chest, rolling from side to side. So we're going to bring the feet max distance apart. And then we're just going to drop the knees over to the right side. The right foot just hooks over the left knee. Arms reach out to the sides. Maybe looking over the left arm. And if this spinal twist isn't your favorite or it doesn't work for you, play. Find the one that really gets you to enjoy the pose. The one that makes you feel joyful. And then breathe. Being curious about your breath, about this pose. About who you are. And then unhooking the foot from the knee, knees come back up to center. We're just dropping them the other direction. This time the left foot can hook over the right knee. Looking over the right fingertips. You can close your eyes if you like. And again, just find curiosity, interest in the sensations in the body. In how amazing the body mind is, right? In your breath. And then unhooking the foot, knees come up to the sky. Give yourself the unconditional hug that you deserve. You're worth it. Taking a moment to really just care for yourself, how special and unique you are in all your playfulness, which is unique to you. And then we're going to stretch the legs out. Coming into Shavasana, toes can fall to the sides, palms face up. So you've got a little choice here. You can go into that weird laughter just for a moment before we relax into Shavasana. So just coming into a few rounds, if it doesn't feel good to you or it's too self-conscious at this moment, then that's fine. But I really love it. It actually works the core quite a lot. It actually changes your physiology or how you're feeling when, even if you force laughter. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Brilliant. And then you can just close the eyes. You can let go of your breath, of controlling the breath. And just allow yourself to surrender. You don't need to control anything. Just give yourself the gift of being. So bringing your attention back to your physical body. Maybe wriggling fingers or toes or circling your wrists or ankles. You might even find that you just move your head a little from side to side. And you can reach your arms up overhead, still wriggling fingers and toes if you like. And bring the to chest, give yourself a final hug of the class, giving yourself a nice squeeze here, and rolling onto your right side. You can use a right arm as a pillow if it feels good, just calming in to a fetal pose. Feel the ground beneath you there to support you. And pressing yourself up into a seated pose, keeping your eyes closed if it feels good. So any way of sitting, crossed legs, kneeling, half lotus, full lotus is all good. Palms face up, thumbs and index fingers touching. So we're going to play a little bit with our breath here. We're going to play with moving from inhaling for the count of 1 and exhaling to a count of 1 to building it up. So then we'll inhale for 2, exhale for 2, and we'll move it up to maybe about 7 or 8. If it gets too much, don't worry, just back off a little bit and then join in again when you can. So we're going to start through both nostrils. Inhale 1, exhale 1. Inhale 2, 1, 2. Exhale 1, 2. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, back to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2. Inhale, 1. Exhale, 1. So you can just breathe again through your nose for as long or as short as you like. Just noticing how that playful breath or playing with the breath felt. And then we'll bring the hands to the heart center. Inhale, reaching the arms out and up. Hands are going to touch at the top. And exhale, bringing the hands to the heart center. So inhale, reaching the arms out and up, gathering spontaneity and playfulness. And exhale, bringing it to the heart center. And one more time, reaching the arms out and up. Exhale, hands to the heart. And finding some gratitude to yourself for taking the time for your body and mind and for yourself to play today in yoga. And maybe setting an intention to be a little bit more playful through the rest of the day, if that works for you. And then hands coming up to the third eye center. It's a pleasure guiding you through your practice today. Namaste.